Dark Deception is in trouble, and I mean big trouble, ladies and gentlemen. So yesterday, Unity made a big boo. If you guys don't know what Unity is, calm down. So all these games that you see are made in game engines, right? You hear Unreal Engine. One of my favorite ones is CryEngine, and all these others. Sometimes, game companies make their own engines. Naughty Dog have their own game engine that they make. Last of Us, Uncharted, Resident Evil team make their own games in the RE engine, and there are so many other companies who make their own engines to make their games. Some company use Unreal Engine, CryEngine, again my favorite. But there's one more video game engine that a lot of people use and a lot of indie devs use, and that is Unity. Wow. See, if you're just starting out, a lot of people will recommend you to use Unity because it is easier to get into and whatnot and all that other stuff. So a lot of these games that you see your favorite YouTubers playing, most of them are made in Unity. There's a massive developer community out there, right? So what happened yesterday, out of nowhere, they are making a new policy that the developers have to pay per install of a game that is made in Unity. Let me repeat myself. For every install, not purchase, not sales, install, ladies and gentlemen.
You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
This makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. To give you an example how messed up and freaked up this is, if a game, let's say Puppy Playtime, it is not made in Unity, but let's suppose it is made in Unity. For an example, right? Chapter 1 is for free, right? Let's suppose 1 million people install the game. That is, ladies and gentlemen, $200,000 for a game that made developers no money because it was for free. But all of a sudden, developers are in debt, a $200K debt, just because 1 million people wanted to download the game and install the game. Shizzle makes no sense, ladies and gentlemen. So many developers came out yesterday. A lot of developers came out and they were like, yo, this is bullcrap, we're done for. There are so many indie games that are just outright removing their game from the stores, the ones that are made in Unity, and the games that are in development in Unity, they are putting on hold. One of the games that is affected is our Super Horror Bro colleague, the YouTuber. He's also making a video game called Glitched Out. I wanted to make a separate video on that game, but unfortunately that has been affected as well. That game was being built in Unity. And now Super Horror Bro released a statement that now they're monitoring the situation. They might have to either start over in Unreal Engine or, think of something else or make the game cost or whatnot, because originally the game was supposed to be free, chapter 1 at least. Like, people actually paid money, invested in it as an investment to make their games, and now all of a sudden, just because they're getting installs, they're now in debt. This shizzle makes no sense. So why are we talking about Super Dark Deception? Well, Super Dark Deception is built in Unity. Dark Deception base game, the 3D game, the chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, they are made in Unreal Engine. But the Super Dark Deception, the 2D game, the 2D platform is being built in Unity. So that is affected 100%. So we were wondering yesterday, all of us Dark Deception fans, that what's going to happen to Super Dark Deception. Well, today, the Lost Entertainment released an official statement on it. Let's read it. It says, fun fact, Super Dark Deception is made in Unity. Today, Unity's leadership announced that they've decided to go after the income of developers by using a Unity runtime fee based on the revenue and install threshold. While a revenue threshold is reasonable and is already utilized for their main competitor, Unreal Engine, the install policy is ludicrous. It'll put many small developers out of business with the way it tracks and charges for installs. How will it affect us? To avoid the fees and future arbitrary policy changes by Unity, we may have to delay Super Dark Deception release and rebuild it entirely from scratch in a different game engine. We will continue to hope that it doesn't come to that, but it is not looking good. It is highly disturbing that Unity can unilaterally change the terms of agreements whenever it wants to. If the announced policy changes are not reversed or significantly altered, it looks very likely that we will never make another game in Unity. As a publisher, we seek to support promising new indie horror games. The new fees present a significant new challenge for emerging Unity developers to face right out of the gate. It may even cause some publishers to avoid publishing games built in Unity entirely. Stop the greed, Unity. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the dilemma that we're facing is right now a lot of devs who've put money, effort, time into their games that are in development, all of a sudden they don't know what to do. The folks who have released their games for free made in Unity, now pulling their games out. They're removing their games. Major indie developers. And many of the folks who wanted to make games in Unity, all of a sudden they're like, nah fam, we don't want anything to do with it. This is gonna affect games, our industry, in a major way like we've never seen before. And it doesn't surprise me, ladies and gentlemen, that the leadership, the CEO, the current one, is from EA. It should not be surprising, ladies and gentlemen, but my god, it came out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. Per purchase is a completely different thing. After a certain threshold, you have to pay on Unreal Engine percentage of the sales. It just makes sense. You are using their engine after all. But per install? What about free games, Unity? What is the matter with you? All in all, Super Dark Deception is now in limbo. Closestick Entertainment is monitoring the situation. If this gets reversed, happy, we're gonna move on as planned. Tokyo Game Show is right around the corner. We are slated to see some Super Dark Deception chapters 1 to 3 stuff over there. But if it doesn't get reversed, ladies and gentlemen, a massive, and I mean a major delay incoming, because now they would have to make this game from scratch, zero, in a different game engine. How long that's gonna take, and how's that gonna affect other projects like Chapter 5's release, like the physical edition? Like, bro, come on, man. Unity, man. Why would you do that? Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be keeping an eye on this and we'll keep you updated on whatever happens.